An average knowledge worker's day is an 8-hour block of time, systematically broken down into 5-minute slivers of emails, status meetings, and instant messages. We operate in an economy that disproportionately rewards complex, high-level problem solving. Yet the environments where we perform this work are designed to fracture the exact cognitive focus required to do it. Most of those slivers consist of shallow work, logistical, easily replicated tasks that demand very little of your cognitive capacity. Deep work requires distraction-free concentration. It is the focused effort that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit and creates new value. This distinction gives us a clear equation for output. High-quality work produced equals time spent multiplied by the intensity of focus. You cannot increase work quality simply by blocking out more hours on a calendar. You have to structurally manage your cognitive bandwidth. The target state for that bandwidth is a physiological condition known as flow. In this state, action and consciousness melt together, and you become completely absorbed in the task at hand. We map perceived skill on the x-axis against perceived challenge on the y-axis. High challenge with low skill produces anxiety. High skill with low challenge produces boredom. Optimal cognitive immersion only occurs in the top right quadrant, where high challenge meets high skill. Human cognitive bandwidth has a hard physiological limit. The mind can only process about 110 bits of information per second. Simply decoding standard human speech consumes between 40 and 60 bits per second, roughly half of your total available bandwidth. Pushing your capabilities into the flow quadrant demands 100% of your remaining allocation. There is zero surplus capacity. If your environment demands a fraction of background attention to monitor an inbox or listen for a notification, reaching flow becomes physiologically impossible. Consider the standard practice of pausing a complex strategic problem to answer a seemingly urgent message. When you do this, you trigger the Zeigarnik effect. This biological mechanism forces your brain to involuntarily retain incomplete tasks. It refuses to let go of them, even after you transition to a new stimulus. Leaving a task unfinished creates literal cognitive tension. It operates exactly like a background process on a computer, silently consuming mental RAM. Because the brain physically seeks closure, these unclosed loops actively drain your cognitive energy, whether you are consciously thinking about the abandoned task or not. In 2009, researcher Sophie Leroy tested the cognitive transition between two distinct work tasks. She forced workers to stop working on task A and immediately switch to task B, intentionally leaving the first incomplete. The data showed that performance metrics on task B immediately plummet. Leroy defined this split cognitive state as attention residue. Because of the tension created by the Zeigarnik effect, the brain cannot fully disengage from the first task. A portion of your attention remains stuck in the previous context. Her research also uncovered a counterintuitive requirement for actually achieving task closure. To successfully sever the cognitive link to task A, the worker requires intense time pressure during the final moments of finishing it. Finishing a task completely under a hard deadline forces the brain to close the loop. The mental RAM is freed, and performance on the next task spikes back up. This complete closure allows for the full recovery of your total cognitive bandwidth. Multitasking is a biological impossibility. What we actually do is engage in rapid task switching, a process that guarantees chronic, performance-destroying attention residue. If your goal is to reach a flow state, you have to build a systemic architectural defense against this cognitive leakage. The Pomodoro technique establishes a strict cognitive boundary. This diagram illustrates the rule of absolute indivisibility. A single 25-minute unit of work is encased in a hard border that deflects an external interruption. Under this protocol, an interrupted block is entirely ruined and must be abandoned. Your only other option is to log the interruption and postpone dealing with it until the block is over. By enforcing this boundary, you guarantee task closure. You neutralize the Zeigarnik tension before you are allowed to transition to anything else. Author Cal Newport scales this indivisibility across a full career using what he calls rhythmic scheduling. By building a daily, automated habit of defined deep work blocks at set times, you completely bypass the willpower depletion normally required to initiate focus. These protocols function as architectural firewalls designed to protect your finite cognitive bandwidth. Look back at the fractured, high-interruption workday we mapped earlier. When we apply the structural defenses of indivisible blocks and rhythmic scheduling, the slivers consolidate. You get solid, continuous periods of deep work protected by hard borders, with all shallow work batched tightly at the edges. You cannot force yourself into a flow state through sheer willpower. It can only be probabilistically enabled by careful environmental design. Trying to manage multiple projects simultaneously defaults your brain to a state of chronic attention residue, pulling you entirely out of the high-challenge, high-skill quadrant. This requires abandoning the mindset that any tool with a minor benefit is worth using. Instead, apply a craftsman's approach. Strictly eliminate any application, network, or device that fragments your attention. Batch your shallow tasks. Mandate absolute task closure to clear your mental RAM. Treat your focused attention as a finite